Good morning, everybody. Today's recording is going to be on UFC 315. This is my little daughter, and she's a little smarty, and goofy, but she promised me she would be a good girl, so we'll see how this goes. But anyways, I'm going to jump right into this. Some of these fights I really don't have plays on, but I'm going to try and touch base on majority of them. And the first fight of the night is actually going to be Brad Katona versus Bekzat Almakan. I don't have an official play on this one, but I do have a strong lean towards Bekzat Almakan to win this fight at a minus 148. It's decent. He's definitely unproven. Brad Katona is tough, though. He's a dog. He's going to be like Brad Katona. Someone's going to fight for your money. So I do like the over 2.5 rounds. If you want to use that in a parlay piece. So I would definitely consider that. And then that's it for that fight. On to the second fight is going to be Daniel Santos versus Young Lee. And this fight here, I got a strong lean towards Young Lee. I don't have any money on that. The one thing I do have money on is the over 2.5 rounds at a plus 105. And here it is. It could definitely end inside a distance, but I'm going to lean towards just going all 3 rounds. I think Santos is moving up in weight. He's moving up from 135 to 145. And then, so Lee is going to be the stronger fighter, I believe, wherever this fight goes. There's also a chance that Lee could do some grappling, but probably not. And I just think this one's got a good shot. I usually try and find a good plus value on an over that I like, and I do like this one. So I do have a little bit. I have like a half a unit on that. And then on to the next fight, Marc-Andre Barriault versus Silva. I think Silva's washed. I don't have anything on this fight. But if you were to bet it, I would do Silva first round and then go Marc-Andre Barriault either to win in the second or third round or even by decision. So I would consider it betting it that way if you're going to. I think Silva is first round or bust. So that's what I got on that one. Next fight, it's going to be Sterling versus Ruslan. I don't have anything on this fight. I mean, Sterling's a minus 340. He's a prospect. I really did not watch much tape on this fight here. It's probably going to stay on the feet though, and most people are taking Sterling by knockout. But I'm not putting anything on either side on this one here. So, and then the next fight is Bukauskas versus Catalaba. Catalaba is a tough bastard. You know, I'm leaning Bukauskas to get the win. I believe he's at a plus 105 now. Once again, I don't have anything on this one. Cutelaba could end up wrestling though. It's not a could. He's more than likely going to end up trying to grapple also. And so he's got more and more ways to win, but I like Bukauskas to, possibly find a late knockout or win this fight by decision at a plus 105. But once again, it's a no play for me. So, and then here's a fight that I do have a play on. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Jessica Andrade. I am going to be betting Jasmine minus 5.5. If I can find it here. I can't find it. Um, I'll pull them all up at the end and talk about them again at the end. It's a -5.5 on DraftKings. That's a -110. -5.5 basically means she really can only lose one round on one judge's scorecard, and that's it. Or maybe it's 2 rounds. No, it's 1. Because that would mean she would need a 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. If you add those 3 up, that's -7. So, and that's a -110. Because there's a chance she wins this by submission or by decision. Those are the 2 likely outcomes. I think this fight's going to go to the ground. So if you do like Jasmine, you can also look at her takedown props, because she's going to get takedowns if she wins. Jessica is live to connect with her on the feet, but I don't think it's going to happen. Jasmine's been improving drastically. I like her. She's going to end up wrestling in this one here, and I like her to get the win. And I also like her as a parlay piece also. So, and once again, I will pull up my plays at the end. And then my next one is Mike Mallet versus Charles Radke. I'm not using an official play on this video, but I do have one on a show that I was on, and Charles Radke was my dog of the week at a +160. He's now he fell down to a +135, and now he's back up to a +170. So I do like him. It's just a lean though. It's not like an official play. I just had to give out a play for a dog on that show. So that's the one I went with. And he's definitely going to have the power advantage. He's going to be better on the feet. And his grappling isn't that bad. Where Mike Malott is more than likely going to try to get this to the mat. And I think Charles Radke's grappling is sneaky pretty good. And I'm looking for him to have solid takedown defense and keeping this fight standing. And he could possibly find the knockout. Actually, it's very likely if it stays standing that he finds a knockout. So that's what I'm rolling with that one. And then the next fight is Saint Denis versus Kyle Prepolek. Kyle Prepolek is a late addition. He's like Saint Denis, like a -1100. The only way I even used this fight at all was I did use Saint Denis inside the distance on a parlay that I'll pull up at the end. That leg alone was like a -480 or something like that. So I think he's going to win any way he can. I mean, it could go all 3 rounds, but it's like a +400 to go the distance. So it's very likely that it ends inside the distance. So I really don't have much on that one either. And then next fight is Alexo Grasso versus Silva. And in this fight here, Silva's younger. She's the high volume striker. She's undefeated in the UFC. Alexa Grasso is, she just lost 3. She just fought Valentina Shevchenko 3 straight times and finally got beat pretty handily the last time. She beat her by a submission the first time, then they had a draw, and then this last time Shevchenko took care of her very easily and convincingly. So Silva's up and coming. She's probably going to be a champion at some point, but at a -250, I'm not touching her. I would be more inclined to take Grasso at a plus 200 or even her plus 3.5 line on DraftKings. It's now up to a minus 150, I believe. This is what I saw it at this morning. That just basically means she needs to win one round on all three judges' scorecards, and the fight needs to go the distance. Or if she wins, then obviously you win it also. I do like the over in this one, but it's pretty juicy. It's like a minus 475, so it's up there. It's right up there. That's all I got for that one. Next fight is Jose Aldo versus Zahabi. I lean Aldo. I was going to bet him by decision at like a minus 110, but then I decided not to. This fight's going to stay standing. It's going to be a boxing match the whole time, probably even low output on the striking. But Aldo's a great boxer, and Zahabi's got some of the best striking defense in the UFC. So it's kind of cancels each other out a little bit here. And so it's not going to be a great fight to even watch, more than likely, unless there's some fluke knockout, which I don't think so. And I hope there's not, because this is another fight where I'm using the over 2.5 as a parlay piece. And I will, once again, I'll pull those up at the end. I want to pull them up all at the same time, so that if you are going to tell anything, you can either take a screenshot of it or write them all down. So I do like that to go the distance, and I do lean Aldo, but it's going to be a back and forth, pretty close affair. So, I mean, a lot of people are on Zahabi just because he's a plus 250. But or at least he was, or a plus 150, sorry. So that's that one. And now we are on to the two main events, the co-main event and the main event. A lot of people are saying the co-main event is the actual main event, but they're both really good fights. And the first one is Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot. This is another one where even if Manon Fiorot doesn't win this fight, she's probably going to be the champ someday. And I'm on Valentina. I think there's levels to this game. I think this is going to be just a level check. But pretty much almost everybody is on Fiorot that I'm following, that I'm seeing. She's really good on the feet. She's a great striker, great counter striker, has good leg kicks, uses her space well, has very great spacing, like I said. She knows how to control a fight. She really does. And it's Valentina, it's going to 100% come down to, does she get takedowns? Because she's turned into more of a grappler as she gets older. She's had 37 takedowns in her last 8 fights. So that's what she's going to be looking for. But in order to take Manon Fiorot down, you got to be smart, you got to be technical, and you got to have the best timing ever to get them. She's not going to try and get body lock takedowns. She's not going to try and outmuscle her along the cage to get a takedown, because she's not going to be able to outmuscle her. Manon Fiorot's going to be the stronger fighter. So Valentina's takedowns are going to have to come in the middle of the cage. They're going to have to come after a couple strikes, or, get her to faint and, think that she's going to be striking, and then she's going to have to they're basically going to be football tackle takedowns, where she's just going to have to explode and get them. And I think she gets a couple. I think she probably gets at least 2. They've one book I've got has the line set at 1.5. The other book I have has it set at 3.5. I've never seen this in my entire life. So I did some arbitrage betting on this fight where I'm guaranteed to make money. I bet 4+ takedowns at a plus 400, and I bet under 3.5 takedowns at a minus 162. And I will go over all those numbers at the end, but I am guaranteed to profit $173 on that. That's guaranteed profit. That's not a what if this happens or what if that happens. That is 100% guaranteed money in my pocket. I was going to do more, but I would have wiped out one of my sportbook accounts if I would have gone a lot more. So I just decided to stop there. And then I've also have a small wager on, I did this like 2 weeks ago because I thought it was going to be a good number, and it's really not. I've got like a small wager on Valentina money line at a plus 105, which I wouldn't do now, especially considering you can get it at plus 114. And then I think her only way to win is by decision. So I've got a small wager on Valentina to win by decision at a plus 215, and I did see it on FanDuel at a plus 220. So I do like that for the value. If you do like the Manenfjord side, I would consider there's one sport book that you can get her to be the champ prop at the end of the year, which is December 31st of 2025 is the way they do theirs. And that's a plus 180 on a sport book called Bet Rivers. If you have that available, you can still get that line. I looked it up just before I started recording this, so it's still out there. If I'm on her side, that's probably one of the ways I would do it. Or I would do it by decision. I think you can find lines at a plus 130 to a plus 140. But I'm on Valentina, but I can definitely see a pathway for either fighter. It's going to be a back and forth fight, and I love the over. The over 4.5 is probably one of my favorite parlay pieces of the week, and I'll be going over those at the end. And then on to our last fight. It's Belal Decision Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. I think it's gonna be Belal all day. I don't care that the line has gone the other way a little bit. That doesn't affect my pick at all. But I do kind of like the over, and I am using over 2.5 as a parlay piece. But my play for this fight is going to be Belal Muhammad over 3.5 rounds and on the money line minus 115. I like that a lot. I've also got a parlay I've also got a parlay of, see if I can find it right here. Right here is a parlay I did of Valentina Shevchenko over 4.5 rounds and Muhammad on the money line plus 105. I love that, to be honest. That's a great play. You know, I got 2 units on that, so that's pretty good play, I think. I think Muhammad's going to end up wrestling. If he doesn't wrestle